Here I am, in the place to be. Mr. K&B, you can't fuck with me. Extra sexy, extraordinary. Palms are hairy, your mama pop.
It takes one rabbit hole to go down and find a bunch of other awesomeness. Like, what up, y'all? Strange starting, I'm sorry, but my name's K&B, the Sexy Ninja. Welcome. I'm here for a Paper Saber universe, and this is the which podcast is this? Oh, the Sexy Ninjacast. Silly, you silly goose. Silly. It's a podcast all about me and my loves, music, comic books, movies, etc. Sometimes motivational speeches, sometimes, telling people it's going to be okay, whatever this show is for somebody. I hope it's positive and in a positive light, because that's what I want to bring to the world. And today I'm going to talk about a song I heard that really floored me. The song's called Livin in My Head by a super group called Klokwerk. And I came across this super awesome group by a documentary I saw about the gathering of the Juggalos, what was going on, day 1, day 2, day 3, whatever. And they're listing off some acts and stuff like that. And I was like, man, and he's like, hey, I was here to see Klokwerk. And I was like, man, why does that sound so familiar? And I went through and I started going down the rabbit hole, man. And I heard the song. And then this song came out. I saw Livin in My Head, and I saw the cover. And I was like, you know what? Let me try this. And man, a song that just jarred my brain. And I played it like 10 times and probably teared up a few times, because that's the power of music, right? That's the power of hearing a song and the messages inside the song. And the messages inside this song really talk to me. And I even sent this to the homie Colin. I was like, yo, man, this song, I even wrote a little thing for it. I like this song really inspired me to find myself, and I've been struggling for years to try to like get a balance of who I am with all this recent crap, and that's not word for word what I wrote, but it was just like one of those things. After hearing the song, I had to write down how I felt. And, there's a lot of people out there that are living in their own head. And it's frustrating. It's you can get angry about it, But at the end of the day, we're just that person in our way, right? We are the ones that we hold our destinies inside our hands. And I know we get kicked down, we get smacked around and stuff like that, and you feel like you shouldn't get up, but with music, I feel like that's why it's so important, because it's a comfort of knowing, like, yo, somebody wrote this song, and this is how they're feeling. And you listen to a song like "Living in My Head" by Klokwerk. It just gave me a lot of things to think about emotionally, and me physically, especially with my weight and stuff like that. Like, it definitely opened my mind, and it's such a great song. I will have the link in the description below so you can check it out. I heard this on Spotify, and then I dug even deeper, went into the IGs and stuff like that, to find this group, and it led me down to their EP, Will Boof for Rent. but with a super dope title like that, this EP fucking delivers. I'm telling you, once I go down a music rabbit hole, I start like going through a music rabbit hole. I thought "Living in My Head" was like one of those songs I was like, oh my gosh, man. Then I go into the album, we go into the intro, then we go to the second song. It's called "No Sleep," and I was like, oh yeah, they speak my language, like they understand, like this is so good. Then we go into the next track, and then here comes "Living in My Head," and then we go to "No More," then we go to "Poker Face." And I will say my 3 favorite tracks is "No Sleep," "Living in My Head," and "No More," but the other 2 songs are just as banging, and "Will Boof for Rent." That title's so dope. I don't give a fuck. I know what it means. And I'm not saying I knew what it meant when I when I saw it, I was like, Will Boof for rent. I was like, okay. And I went on my phone. I was like, what is Will Boof? Boof. And I saw the definition of what it means, and it's about putting stuff up your butt, alcohol, stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I learned something new. I'm an old man, folks, but I will say that's the power of Google and the power of typing that sort of thing in. So there's somebody out there in the government probably reading my history is like, yo, man, this guy's looking up Will Boof for rent. Like, what is that? Oh, my God, what's this sicko looking at? That's what I'm thinking that's going to happen. Because then I'm going to probably get, like, butt plugs or something pop up on my Facebook or Instagram. Because you know how that works. You know how scary the internet is when you think of something or talk about something and you're like, and it pops up. You're like, what the fuck? That's weird. Like me and my wife were like, man, we want to go to Disney. We want to do this. We want to do that. And, we're talking about next year, hopefully, like, save us some money to go to Disneyland. And out of nowhere, she's like, hey, on my social media, are you getting nothing but Disney ads? I was like, hell yeah. Mickey's like, oh, come over here. I was like, no, Mickey, okay. I want to go to Disneyland. Never been to Disneyland, but you get what I mean. You talk about something around your technology, and all of a sudden it starts popping up, and you're like, what the fuck? Because, like, the other day, what was the other day? I wanted like something to start building a recording studio. I already have the studio there, but I meant more for music, so I can start making some music again. And like I said, this song here, "Living in My Head" by Klokwerk, like this whole album, Will Boof for Rent, like boosted my confidence more to make music again. Because when I first started rapping, like way before, like middle school or something like that, and constantly had the notebook and whatnot. Constantly was picked on because of it too. I was a nerdy kid who's trying to rap, and I'm rapping about music that's really dark and deep, because that's like around the age when, like, I was discovering music and the type of taste of music I like. And then the Wraith came along and changed all that and changed my inspiration. And this is I've said this origin story so many times. You can go and check back to back stuff, and that Juggalo vlog, the very first one, talks about all my origin into this crazy world of music and stuff like that. But this, I stopped because I always felt like there's more talented ninjas out there in this industry. Every time I meet an artist or I talk to an artist, I'm like, you're the fucking gods. Like, you guys are. Like, if I met Klokwerk, I would love to do an interview with these ninjas. Like, I would love it. Somebody make that happen, or can I make that happen? Either or. Like, it was just one of those things where I just want to be like, yo. I'm not worthy. Like, that's how I feel about all these artists. And, artists I've met, and, they're like, oh, man, you're dope. I was like, no, motherfucker, you're dope. You're dope. You have the balls or whatever's down there to fucking make art, to make this art and make it touch my soul and make me resonate with what you're saying in your words. And I'm down for life, And that's what's so dope about fucking music, Is there some bad stuff out there? Sure, like anything else, man. But with the power of music, there's always a good song that can just, like, grab you. And I feel like this is the song, Living in My Head, that I'm really pushing just because it's one of the first songs I heard from this group, Klokwerk. And I was like, yo, I have to, And I was like, man, now I want the merch. I want a shirt now, And I was like, I would love the Will Boof for Rent album cover, because it's on Bandcamp right now. Go support that. I will have the links to all that in the description below of this podcast. But this song started, like, getting my brain going on and on and on, and it got me thinking, like how I write music and how I do this. And what's funny is, like, I started working on an album last year called Fat Native. PHAT. In the actual number 8 and a V, the Fat Native. And, like, I was like, I am going to make the most dope hip-hop album I can make. Bars, lyricism, like storytelling. I had this great idea, and I recorded this first song called Wicked Shit. And that's the song you hear at the starting of this podcast. Here I am, in the place to be. Mr. KMB, you can't fuck with me. Extra sexy, extraordinary. Palms are hairy. Your mama popped my cherry. You know, that song. The song you heard at the starting of the show. But in like this song right here and this group right here inspired me to write more. And then what am I even talking about? Oh, so I wanted to make this album. I wanted to make the most hip hop album of all hip hop albums, you know, and bring it KMB style with a little twist. Come to find out, I have a lot of shit, like some darkness in my brain that wants to come out first. And so Fat Native kind of got pushed to the side because I started writing wicked shit songs. Like I started like I wrote this song called The Dead. I haven't wrote a song in so long, but this just popped out of my head, and it's about Mr. Happy, the song I did that you probably can find on the playlist. You know, it's about this killer clown that's from helping Bizzle Boss and stuff like that. And, you know, he's a demon. He was a serial killer. Then he got thrown into hell. And then, like, the Bizzle Boss was like, yo, I want you as my side, and we're going to take over the world and stuff like that. And a lot of that comes from comic book loving, too. You know, Violator, you know, and, you know, from Spawn's universe and stuff like that. And my love for Insane Clown Posse, so clowns and whatnot. And the idea, you know, and there's that song, I'm happy, you know, Mr. Happy on, you know, Bazaar. You know, it comes, you know, all that stems from something. This isn't an original idea I came up with, but it was an idea. I was like, I want the concept of it to be part of the album, you know. And so I started working. I started like creating. And this song called The Dead, it's Mr. Happy coming from the underworld and taking over the world with Bizzle Boss. And, you know, a very simple chorus, but it definitely has what it has. Then I started writing a song called Body in the Bag. And the hook I was writing was like, because I really wanted some good, heavy choruses. Like, put the body in the bag and drag, put the body in the bag and drag. You know, I was like, okay, I started writing that one. Then I wrote another song called I started writing a song. I have several songs I'm writing right now, and that's just how my brain goes. But another song called Down South is like, put the barrel in your mouth and blow your soul down south. You know, that's part of the lyrics of the chorus. So like all this shit's going on, and I remember like I text my brother because, you know, he understands when it comes to like I'm trying to write music and stuff. I was like, I set course to make a hip hop record, but come to find out, my body, my mind, my spirit wants me to write this darkness, you know, from what's coming to my brain and what's like manifesting into what this album's going to look like. And it all stems back now to this song I heard living in my head. And maybe that's what it is. Like I got all this like stuff on my brain, and I need to quit living in my head, and I need to get out of it. I need to push myself to go back to the gym. I need to push myself to like get up and be proud of who I am, you know? And that's what great music does, and that's what I'm just coming back around to with Klokwerk E. This song right here, Living in My Head, really fucking like it you know, it gangbanged my brain to really think. And then after hearing the album We'll Boo for Rent, man, I'm a fan. I'm a fan now. And I'm glad I watched this documentary about The Gathering. I forgot the name of it, but it's really dope. It's like 30 minutes. He showcased some other artists on there that I was like, oh, okay, I started writing down and stuff like that. Because I'm not as good as keeping up with music as Colin is. Colin was the one homie for the longest time. It's like, yo, check this out. Sometimes I will get an artist over him and send it to him. He's like, yo, never heard of this artist. Like, right? I was like, what? Oh, shit, I got him. It's like once in a blue moon, though. Once in a fucking blue moon, I can get over him. Not all the time, because he's constantly like, yo, this. I was like, yeah. What's this? Ooh, you know. So he's introduced me to a lot of artists, and I'm glad that I got to watch this documentary. Really great documentary put together, showcasing The Gathering and Juggalos this year and stuff like that. and one of the artists performing is Klokwerk. And I definitely I was like, oh, okay. And I typed it in. The first song I saw pop up on Spotify was Livin in my head, and I played it. And it's like, and it just goes, and it just it just starts massaging your brain and just saying it's gonna be okay. Stop living in here, get up. That's what the song screams to me. You don't want I get days where I'm like, I don't want to get up. Today was one of those days. I had to go watch some wrestling, and I just laid there, and I was looking at the ceiling. I was like, why? Why should I get up and watch this? Why should I get up and do this? Then, my other part of my brain is like, get the fuck up, bitch boy. Go do your thing, man. And I'm glad I did, because when I do podcasts like this and talk about artists and stuff like that, especially when I do music, I want to do more of these music breakdowns and stuff like that. And finding great artists like Klokwerk who really bring the flavor, and they even say Will Boo for Rent is something different they did, and I'm glad I got to listen to it. I got to check it out from top to bottom, all 6 tracks, and I really enjoyed it. And when I went down the rabbit hole of Spotify, I was like, oh shit, this is I like. And this is where I look at the crazy world of the underground. I'm like, man, there's so many talented artists down here that should be fucking mainstream. I was playing Dubs' album, and someone walked in, like, who's this? I was like, this is Dubs, man. Who the fuck are you? Other artists, super famous fun time guys, I'm listening to them, like, who's this? I'm like, these motherfuckers, why? Why do you guys listen to bullshit up there, man? I'll stay down here. The radio's better. But thank you to Klokwerk for dropping some dope flavor, dropping some awesomeness, man. Go check out their EP. It's on Bandcamp. You can check out some other songs on Spotify. But go to Bandcamp right now. I'll have the link in the description below so you can check it out. Will Boo for Rent, and you will boo for Klokwerk, because these guys are awesome. They bring the flavor of flavors. And I hope I said that. Will boo for Klokwerk. Does that mean I'm going to put something up my butt for Klokwerk? Why not? I'll do it. Give me some rainbows and sunshine. I'll shove them up there, because I love this. I love this group. I'm a big fan now. Big fucking fan. And I know down the road, Doc Gruesom's new album's coming out too. Doc Gruesom's another artist that I fucking love. And I met him too, and I got to see him perform, and I was in awe. I was in awe. Not all. Awe. I was like, oh, yeah. And then Scum dropped a new record with Ouija Mac. I'm going to check that out and break it down. But the underground is good. Pro wrestling life is good. Comic book world is good. Movies, they're there. But life is good, man. I'm glad I can do what I do on a daily basis and bring some flavor to everybody. Bring some awesomeness to everybody, because everybody needs it right now, what I think. Everyone needs some positivity. Everyone needs to get uplifted, and I got uplifted by this track by Klokwerk. Livin in my head, fucking great track, fucking great album, great group. Oh, just nothing but love, nothing but respect. I want to do that interview though, so we got to make it happen. I will send a message when I can and see. And they'll be like, well, you got to boo for this interview. I'm like, I'll boof whatever you want. That tree right there that's looking at me right now, I'll boof it. All right, y'all. Go check out Klokwerk. I'll have the link in the description below, so you can go check them out. All right, that's it. That's all. Like and subscribe. Share it with your grandma. Share it with your grandpa. Share it with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja. And as always, you know, stay sexy, ninjas. Whoop, whoop.
Welcome to the wicked shit.